Andy on blast. Is it dead? A man should not be judged by his words, but by his actions. Will Andy on blast go to zero? Or are we at the absolute bottom and only Valhalla awaits and you are missing a generational entry? Blast airdrop is coming in 3 weeks on 26th of June. More than $100 million injected into the ecosystem. What will it do for the top 2 meme coin on the chain? Following original Pepe Boys Club character, yellow mascot on the yellow chain, with bread on base being 300 times higher. In this video today, I will give you 10 reasons to buy Andy on blast right now. It's not a financial recommendation, but I think it's just a very good fucking trade. Right now, let's dive in. 10 reasons to buy Andy on blast, next 100x meme coin. Reason number 1. Before recent FUD that happened at the start of this week, I had 1% of the supply. Now I have 2%. This is actually the wallet where I hold my Andy on blast. An interesting thing that happened, the thing that why God is actually talking to you through me, is that I checked out this wallet today and I found $60,000 from a meme coin that I randomly just invested into on Ethereum. I just put 10k, right now it's 60k, and it was as high as 90k. It just happened randomly. I completely forgot about it. This is the wallet that I bought $56,000 worth of Andy couple days before. An interesting thing that happened is that this wallet initially had Andy on Ethereum, so I pretty much just swapped my Andy on Ethereum into Andy on blast. I'm not forcing, I'm not pushing anyone to do anything. I will provide you a list of reasoning. I'm just sharing a trade because I think it might be a pretty nice trade at this stage. So here is the wallet. We can check out the history. You can see that it is this one that I have right here, 377, and the beginning of the wallet is the same as well. Here in the end of May, I was buying Andy on Ethereum. I rolled it a bit, and then a couple days ago, pretty much on June 1st, I swapped $56,000. So I pretty much took profits on all of the Andy on Ethereum here, and I moved everything to Blast. And I bought Andy on blast pretty much with one purchase of $56,000. Some people might say it's stupid. You probably lost like $12,000 in the process just because you did this one batch buy. But the response to this question is that I'm not a pussy. I have 3 buys on Andy on blast. The first one was $26,000 at 4 million market cap. The second one was $10,000 as 2 million market cap back then before the first run. And right now I had a buy of $56,000 at around 6 to 7 million market cap. Not 800 or 1200 chunks over a course of several days like a true pussy along with my pussy friends. Obviously, that's just a joke. But I just bought myself. This is the reason number 1. Top holder actually acquiring more supply of the token. For some people, this might be enough of the reason in the first place already. But I will provide you 9 more reasons right away. You have all the receipts, you have all the wallets, you have all the transactions. Here is the swap that happened in the first place. Moving on. Reason number 2. The actual chart that we see right now, it's just so crazy for me to be able to view this chart in the first place. Just check out this fractal, right? It's pretty much going down. It even has 4 highs, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, right? And right now, this fractal specifically exactly copies this thing. It's just so crazy in the first place. It pretty much has the similar type of highs and lows. You might say that the trend here was reversing and here we're pretty much going down and things like that. Well, we have obvious reasons on the marketplace. People are repositioning because they're thinking that there is a new guy on the block and things like that. But this is a bullish pattern. This is a bullish wedge. It's so crazy to see this type of chart for me and for people not understand these things in the first place. We are specifically at the support at this stage in terms of these highs and in terms of our current pricing for the token as well. We had a week down below the support and then pretty much it was bought very, very quickly. And what's interesting, if we actually would check out the size of the move right here, it was 900% from the lows. If we would have the same move right now, around 900%, it would put us around 2x over previous all-time high, somewhere in the range of 90 to 100 million. This is a modest target. Conservative target, I would say, would be reaching previous all-time high, which was around $50 million. And I think this is something that we should be seeing from the token with all the inflows coming into this thing. And obviously, these are very, very conservative scenarios. This is not counting in the degeneracy, not counting in the airdrop, not counting in the rotation from Ethereum into layer 2s, into other alts as well, because right now we are in the season of Ethereum, 100%. This should be changing moving forward, but I will have something to say on this topic as well. Moving on, reason number 3. Everyone who wanted to sell sold. Conditions back then and now. Similar conditions coming. Everyone who wanted to sell sold already. We had this FUD happen on Monday. Honestly, I was not expecting that my video would cause this type of FUD, right? But I just bought the dip right here. I did not buy the exact bottom. I was not buying below this week down, right? But I bought somewhere at around current levels. I'm very, very bullish on the current chart. It's just so crazy for me to see these things and understand the fundamentals, understand what might be happening, and understand the upside. I will tell you everything. I'm probably front-running myself, and it's not a financial recommendation. I'm just sharing the trade. I think it's a very, very nice trade, and in general, long-term hold actually as well. There was a lot of FUD, vampire attacks, negative price action for months, pump and then dump after it again. Imagine being a holder. The thing is pumping and you think, oh, we're going to Valhalla, you're buying somewhere here, and then it's dumping, and then it's going up, and you think, oh, it just was a correction, we're going up, and then it's going down again, and you think, oh, it just going up right now, and down. This type of price action, it fucks with you psychologically. Only the stronger hands essentially left in this token at this stage. This what makes me bullish. These are the charts that I personally enjoy, love buying in the first place, because you're pretty much buying the bottom. Your downside is very, very limited, but we will talk about this as well. Why it's a good trade, because from my point of view, the risk here is very, very low. And then dump after it again. People sold. Some whales even, they were selling on this pump. They were selling right here. And now we have absolutely bottom right after the fight. I actually did not sell a token. I was taking 25k profit only like 2 months ago, right? But since then, I did not sell a token. I hold 2%, around 2% of ND on Blast currently. And now we have absolutely bottom right after the fight. This is just crazy. I don't see anything worse happening, honestly, right here. Like, what can be happen? Only if like Team Rocks, right? I don't think it will be happening. Another project sucking up all the liquidity and stealing the narrative, and FUD from main kind of influencer from me, speaking about other projects and things like that. Again, I was not expecting that my video in terms of ND on Ethereum would essentially cause this type of FUD in the first place. But I do think that you're a very, very bad fucking trader if you actually sold your ND on Blast and bought into ND on Ethereum. Short term, you might be making profits, but what's your upside? What do you need? How many millions of dollars you actually need to get injected into your asset ND on Ethereum right now to get a 2x? That's just crazy to me. There is no best scenario to buy in. Holders that are in currently just don't give a shit. They're just holding, and weak hands are being changed by stronger hands. We have to understand what were the conditions when ND on Blast was pumping to $50 million. It's a very, very important statement in the first place. When was it? It was at the end of March, at the peak of the degeneracy, at the peak of the run. The market was risk on. People were eager to invest into new things and were not afraid. Right now, most of the market is still in the pussy-o mode. Everyone is scared. Everyone is taking profits after 2x. Everyone is buying into tokens with real people behind them, limiting their upside to feel comfortable. They are trading their financial fucking wealth for the emotions, like pussies in the first place, buying into something that makes them comfortable. Let me provide you with an investment advice. If you are buying something and it's comfortable to buy, you will not be making money. You are jumping on the cock right away, right up your ass. When it's comfortable to buy, you are not making fucking money. You might get exposed to certain upside. Well, if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars, that might be alright. That might be fine. You have to buy winning assets, right? If you're in the process of making it, there's a bit of a different game in the first place, right? This is what your edge might be, because people right now, they're trading emotions for future gains, for the futures of themselves, for the future of their future selves, for the future of the families, for the future of the kids, for the future of the parents, for the future of all the people that depend on them. They're actually trading their emotions to be comfortable, giving away the future. Imagine like your ancestor from 1,000 years back who was fucking fighting in wars, raping and killing and just being a crazy psycho. And he's seeing you currently living comfortably and trading your emotions, actually risking the future of yourself and future people around you who depend on you or will depend on you in the first place. Because if you will have a daughter, she will buy this, she will find a way to buy this Louis Vuitton bag, one way or another, whether it would be OnlyFans or whether her daddy with money will give it to her, right? As you actually should. Reason number 4, upside. Project founder opinion on Andy on Ethereum. A narrative is proven. It's so good it was stolen and it was taken to other chains. The first one was Andy on Blast. We can check out Andy, right? Andy on Ethereum, age 2 months, 29 days. Andy on Blast, age 3 months, 5 days. You need to think about the reasoning. Copycats are being made. You need to think about reasoning why different projects and different tokens are being made still in the narrative. The main reason for that is because they are looking to make money in the first place. Only the first project who is coming up with the narrative, he's following these things. He might be acting from something else, not from essentially making these funds in the first place. The narrative was so good, it was stolen to different chains. I'm not talking about Ethereum, I'm talking about copycats everywhere else as well. But I do believe that uniqueness about this project is on Blast in the first place right away. It is appreciated by the market and viewed as a winning one. I'm speaking about the Andy on Ethereum. The fact that Andy on Ethereum is surging up means that the narrative is getting accepted by the market, which is very, very interesting and important. The main idea currently is behind the chain and liquidity inflows. Ethereum has more liquidity, therefore it should be winning. The chain is still partially dead. I'm talking about Blast. But I believe we're seeing last days of Blast not receiving attention. We are literally at the edge of the Blast season with 100 million plus airdrop coming in 3 weeks, 26th of June. Reason I swapped from Andy on Ethereum to Andy on Blast, my $56,000, is because I understand upside and opportunity cost. I'd rather do a 2x and more and take profits partially to put back in the larger token on the correction after a run. If I want to, I would play with a part of my thing, I would take profits, I would multiply, and if I want to, I can re-enter the previous token as well. I doubt it will essentially move much. I'll probably be able to outperform just with the lower caps because it's a lower cap, because all lower caps are outperforming larger caps. Then just sit in the larger token, especially if I'm putting money into the same narrative, bottomed out chart and something that was first and has huge catalyst in 3 weeks. This is just me, not suggesting anything to anyone. And speaking of any rotations, I'm just showing what I'm doing, what I've done. This is a very interesting message. It's from a private conversation with Andy on Blast team. This is message from 3rd of April when Andy on Ethereum came out, started to surge up, and Andy on Blast started to correct heavily. And it's very, very interesting because people might say that a correction there was because of the fact that Andy on Ethereum came out and things like that. The correction there was of the fact that it was in the charts. Meme coins have to correct after some time. It was in the charts. There might be different reasoning. The same thing that happened on Brett, and I was telling this in my Brett video as well. The correction just happened. 80% correction for a meme coin, that's standard. The reason for this correction, or like all the FUD and things like that, does not matter in the first place. Things are in the charts. And that's why I'm saying that they are feeding you Ethereum ETF to explain the surge in Ethereum. But they don't give a shit. They just draw charts the way they want to, the way they need to. They're just giving you the reasoning so you would logically make sense of it. It doesn't make fucking sense in the first place. This is the message from Andy on Blast founder team. It's not about pushing aggressively. There is no way we are going to compete with the users' volume on Ethereum at this stage. It's just not possible unless we bring more people over to Blast, which is my #1 goal, and help them understand why Blast is the next layer 2 to explode. Let's just be real. We are on Blast and we are #1 since launch, and our marketing angle isn't just Andy. It's being the yellow mascot for Blast. Now that's the bigger narrative in my opinion. Andy can exist in many chains, but it won't be the mascot of a yellow chain. Very, very important reasoning as well. I expected the Ethereum Andy to outperform us, as if it didn't, I'd be worried for Ethereum. But now we'll see the real test who builds better as a community versus our organic community, whose supply isn't bought out by a group of influencers. That was obvious initially for anyone. That's all. I hope you see where I'm coming from with this and see the bigger image than getting FOMO by a coin that did the same access as we did when we launched. Currently, obviously, Andy on Ethereum did large amount of access. Making initial buyers quite rich. Will it make current buyers quite rich? We will see. Aggressive marketing right now makes not much sense. When we get closer to the Blast launch, we will be pushing it aggressively. That's when more people will be interested in bridging over to Blast, in my opinion. That's a very, very important statement. There is a very, very limited effectiveness of the marketing dollars once the main thing that you're basing your product on is not marketing themselves. That's why all the altcoins, they're actually waiting for the new all-time high on Bitcoin and all the Ethereum. They are waiting to spend the hundreds of millions of dollars in marketing, because some of them, they might have tested out some marketing already, but they saw that the marketing is not effective. Marketing dollar ROI is low at this stage. That's why they're waiting for the better conditions. We are in Ethereum season right now. Other seasons will come as well. Rotations will come. Marketing will be done leading up to it, of course. That's pretty much everything I wanted to show. And this is type of thought process that I was kind of interested, excited even to an extent to hear at that end. Very, very interesting one. Moving forward to the reason number 5. First is first, yellow character on yellow chain. There are a bunch of Andys on different chains, but none of them is the top 2 Memecoin of its chain, and none of them is actually a yellow mascot of the chain, as the chain is yellow as well. It might serve as a weak argument, but we have to left curve these things. It makes a lot of sense and easy to understand right away. First, always get appreciated in crypto, and we'll be getting liquidity despite of the success of other projects running on the same narrative that they stolen. At the same time, nothing goes up infinitely, and eventually people will be looking to rotate. Right now, it's such a risk of environment still. People are still only comfortable with Ethereum, with larger Ethereum memes. People are more comfortable buying the tops because it's just so crazy to see these things happening. I also believe that Andy on Blast will perform better in a more risk-on environment, or when Blast will become more risk-off. Very, very important. Blast will also be becoming more risk-off. It will get appreciated by the market better. It will happen at the same time, closer to the end of the month, with Blast airdrop and new all-time high for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Perfect setup. Is actually way better and smarter. Then they moved airdrop due to tech issues. If you know, Blast team moved airdrop from 26th of May to 26th of June, 1 month forward. And they were kind of bashed on due to the fact that they've done it due to the market conditions and things like that. But we don't know the real reason, and they said it's because of the tech, and it's very fucking smart in the first place. Reason number 6, it's Ethereum season right now. L2 season, Ethereum layer 2s will come, and what's better than new shiny object? There will be no Ethereum layer 2s launching except Blast in the upcoming amount of time with the same size of the airdrop. Right now we're in Ethereum season as people are scared. They just got dumped on, many lost money and left. Many will be coming back, and we will have inflows of new market participants and new liquidity, and they would be looking to invest into new shiny object chain, Ethereum layer 2. I expect all Ethereum layer 2s to do quite well after Ethereum runs, and they will be investing into meme coins on the chains because meme coins outperform the tokens of the chains. My strategy is, you know, I'm longing the token of the chain because market cap is just too large. There are a bunch of VCs right there and things like that. And I'm buying top meme coins. There will be no other shiny object Ethereum layer 2, such as Blast at the end of the month and for some time after it as well. The catalyst is there. Everything lines up perfectly. If you don't see it yet, I can't help you. There are so many freaking catalysts lining up for this thing. It's just crazy. The chart, the airdrop, the chain, it's just so crazy in the first place. Reason number 7, Blast TVL is larger than Base. According to DeFi Llama, Blast currently has more TVL than Base. We can also check out on the website, right? I just made a screenshot for you. Blast and Base. Blast is number 6, Base is number 7. Largest meme coin on Base right now is 1.8 billion. Andy on Blast, which follows the same narrative as Brett on Base. Exactly the same, color to color. Andy on Blast follows it perfectly. Andy on ETH, it's a bit different. Is 300 times lower than Brett right now. Andy on Blast is 300 times lower than Brett on Base. Back at the all-time highs for Andy on Blast, difference was 14 times. Right now it's 300x. Do you understand the upside? Even in comparison to Andy on Ethereum, because liquidity from Andy on Ethereum, it should be going somewhere eventually as well. Ethereum season will stop, will end. Nothing goes up infinitely. I'm not saying that kind of trying to put some bad things in certain tokens. This is just how the market works. Nothing can go up infinitely. Andy on Blast is 50 times lower than Andy on Ethereum at this stage. And it actually had a larger market cap, just crazy upside into it. The difference is just too enormous. I believe we are at the exact bottoms of Andy on Blast to Andy on Ethereum trading pair, as well as Andy on Blast to Brett Base pair as well. And something I saw, something I bookmarked recently, very, very interesting. Biggest meme coin on Base, $1 billion. Biggest meme coin on Blast, $49 million. He's obviously speaking about Pac-Man, but we, as Andy on Blast, we were also larger as Pac-Man, and upside is definitely higher. Pac-Man is around all-time highs. Yes, it will probably get appreciated in value, but Andy on Blast, right now at $7 million market cap, is 7x lower than the previous all-time high. We should be at least going into previous all-time high. That's why I'm saying like how crazy good this trade is actually currently. It's just so crazy in the first place. Reason number 8, Blast winning L2 race this cycle. On-chain focus 20 million, raise 100 fees distributed back to developers. This might be controversial to a lot of you. I was right on a lot of things I was saying. I was wrong on a lot of things I was saying as well. Let's actually see. I do believe that Blast, one more time, I do believe that Blast will be winning Ethereum layer 2 race. It will get appreciated more than Base, than all the other, than Arbitrum, Optimus, all the other alternatives right there. Main reasons, 3 main reasons, and I'm seeing why at this stage. And Andy on Blast, because of it, is not a short-term airdrop play, although it is if you want. If you want, it's just the most stupid type of play currently. It's 7x lower from the all-time highs. And we will have airdrop this month. And it follows it first, and it follows Pepe and Brett on Base narrative perfectly. It's just crazy. But a long-term billion-dollar meme. Why I'm saying it's a long-term billion-dollar meme is because all the top memes on different chains should be in billions, closer to the top of the cycle. Andy should be in billions, closer to the top of the cycle, pretty much as the mascot of the chain, as the main meme coin of the chain. And why it will have enough gas to actually do that is because it follows a crazy narrative. Even with existence of Andy on Ethereum, I do believe it's actually possible. Blast will be winning Ethereum layer 2 race because they are focusing on on-chain usage, attracting current liquidity and whales. Native yield is an innovation offered by no one. The fact that your Ethereum and stablecoins are natively yielded on Blast just when you hold them on Blast, 4% for Ethereum and 5% for stablecoins. Risk-free yield, not like Luna, risk-free US bonds yield, very, very important. Main reason to develop layer 2, Pac-Man, who is the founder of Blast, has a very good reason for Ethereum layer 2 development. 20 million raised only, bullish as fuck. If you know the industry, means they are betting on the network effect and confident in the marketing efforts. Plus, they are not launching a VC pump and dump as they don't want to give away much to venture capitalists. This is so bullish. They are counter trading the current meta of tokens with a crazy high fully diluted valuations. VCs don't have much. They don't have a lot in the first place. Something like Linea has raised 700 million for development of Ethereum layer 2. You don't need 700 million for development of Ethereum layer 2. What you need and what this money will be spent on, probably 600 million plus, they will be spent on marketing. Here, these guys, they're confident on the network effect based on the success of Blur. They're focusing on on-chain users in the first place, guys with the largest amount of liquidity, Ethereum whales. And the further we are going into the cycle, the more liquidity these guys will have. And the further we are going to the cycle, the more people will be looking to pack the profits somewhere to yield. And what is the better scenario than on Ethereum layer 2, which is quite safe by itself, where you have native yields, and there will probably be a bunch of Ponzi protocols that will be based on this native yield. This is just so crazy long-term overview of the potential of this thing. 100% of fees on Blast is distributed back to developers. This is so fucking huge. From someone who is in the industry for 6+ years, I'm running my custom software development company for 6+ years at this stage. This is an absolute game changer for any SaaS business, and once it will get appreciated by the market, it will go crazy. I was showing you a tweet by a guy who has a friend developer who was able to collect $400,000 of fees building an application on Blast in like 2 or 3 weeks. These are crazy MRR numbers in comparison to what people have in default SaaS products. You need to build like a SaaS product for 2 to 3 years, and you will need to actually be freaking successful to be able to reach this type of MRR. And this was achieved in 2 to 3 weeks. It's just so like the potential, because the whole industry is highly financialized. Crypto is highly financialized. And Pacman understands this very well. I was watching his interview. He understands this freaking well. Reason number 9. It's kind of a joke, right? Some of you might get scared after this joke, but this is something I kind of have to say, right? I am a 5-dimensional being. Time is irrelevant for me, and I see all the variations of our upcoming future. You are fucking early. You can vividly see the picture of the future, or you can decide not to. I am acting with conviction, not exercised by others, on something I believe in, and voting with my wallet, doing it publicly and showing you the fucking receipts. I believe I will be right as many times as I was also many times wrong. And one of the main reasons of why actually I put $56,000 3 days ago into Andy on Blast is because when doing these type of moves, I'm always thinking about my downside. I'm thinking, what is my downside? Having all the information, having all the fundamentals, seeing the project going through FUD, which was created. I was not sure that this will be happening. I just saw it happen, so I decided to act, right? Reason number 10. And this should be straightly about the trade. It's not about different projects. It's not about kind of one community bashing another community. I do actually believe that different communities arguing about different meme is the signal of the local bottom. I do believe that just because of something like this was happening, we should be going way higher. Because some people, they were definitely selling their memes because of it. And at the same time, when things are pumping up, everything pumps. No one will the fuck argue about different memes. Everything will pump. This is a perfect signal of local bottom. This is bottom talk. If people start to argue about different memes, the main reason they're arguing about different memes is because there is not enough liquidity for them. If it's not enough liquidity, what type of fucking cycle top you're talking about? What type of fucking corrections you're talking about? You're just so fucking stupid in the first place. What is your downside? Downside, will it go to zero? Will Andy on Blast go to zero? Do you really believe this? In the months of Blast airdrop being second largest meme on chain, and when it was the first one, which means that it can easily reclaim it. With the TVL of Blast larger than on base, which first meme is 1.8 billion market cap, Endion Blast is 300 times lower than Breton Base. One more time. Comparison between Ethereum Layer 2 and memes with similar narrative. I would say that we should compare Endion Blast specifically to Breton Base. It's exactly the same thing. It's Ethereum Layer 2. It's exactly the same narrative. Dot to dot. We should compare Endion Blast to Breton Base. 300 times difference. It's just so crazy. Endion Blast is 50x lower than Endion Ethereum. If you want to compare this, because market have seemed to choose Endion Ethereum in the first place. We will see what will be happening. I am the holder of both. Too much upside, too little downside. The worst happened already. Future is only bright. That's my opinion. I think it's just a great trade. One more time, I just like the trade. I just like the fucking trade. Ego aside, all the things aside as well, I just think it's a great fucking trade. I'm happy for any community to succeed and make money. If I'm making jokes about some people, that's, friendly speaking, just because I like them. When I call someone a pussy, right, that's because I like them in the first place. I will give you 2 days before I will start bull posting on Twitter consistently. And believe me, it's not the only thing that will be happening. It's not just about me. That's not just about me. It's not like my meme. It's not a bet of the influencer. Although I would be supporting this thing moving forward, as I was supporting this thing as well. It's not a bet on the influencer. It's a bet on the fucking chain. It's a bet on liquidity coming into the chain. It's a bet on chain winning this cycle as well. Partially, yeah, you might say it's a bet on the influencer as well. Everything shared above is not a financial recommendation. These are just my actions. This is my thought process. This is what I'm coming up to. This is why I think this is actually a great fucking trade. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you tomorrow.